Okay, this game was one of the most bizarre games I have ever witnessed. But this game has one thing that I do like, and that it has a positive outcome. Here's the review. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockJock01, and yesterday, whenever you're watching this, it was homecoming for the undefeated 4-0 Kansas Jayhawks as they took on the 3-1 Iowa State Cyclones. And my gosh, KU won another football game, and it's insane. KU won this one by a final score of, get this, 14-11. Yeah, so this game, in terms of, if you were thinking that was going to be an offensive game, this was boring. But both defenses played their hearts out on the field. And yes, it was low scoring, but it was entertaining. So with that being said, the win puts KU to 5-0 on the season, which is the best start since 2009. It also moves KU to 2-0 in Big 12 play, which still sits them at first place in the Big 12 standings. This was also the second consecutive sellout game at Memorial Stadium, which we haven't done that in like decades. So that was amazing. But the big thing that comes out of this is that KU's magic number to become bowl eligible is now one game. One game. This is insane to say, and I love it. This team looks different, completely different, and it's taken the entire nation by storm. I will say I give a lot of people credit that it was blasphemy that KU was not ranked in the top 25. Now they're probably going to be, but who knows at this point. Now, even though KU came out with the win, there was a lot of things that need to be fixed, but there were some good things that came out of it as well. So, for those of you who do not know, I give positives and negatives about the game. I give a player of the game and a player who needs to improve. So, without further ado, let's do this. So, first is the positives, and all of this really comes down to the defensive side, because this was the best game defensively in what seems like forever, because KU held Iowa State to 11 points, which is the second lowest all season. But in terms of everything else, it was stellar. Holding Iowa State to 5 of 18 on third down conversions, only holding Iowa State to 287 passing yards. I'll take it with how well they threw the ball. I will take that in a heartbeat. But the biggest positive that I have is that Iowa State was held to 26 rushing yards all game long. That was the best rush defensive performance ever in like years. And they were negative 19 yards going into the locker room at halftime. So yes, they got some yards back, but still 26 total rushing yards all game long. Great things. We did actually win the turnover battle. Iowa State turned it over twice. KU turned it over once. So that's really good numbers there. Also, KU won the rush game battle as they were cracked over the 100-yard mark. They finished with 112 rushing yards on the game and actually got more yards per play than Iowa State, as the Jayhawks finished with 4.6 yards per play while Iowa State finished with just 4. So, yeah, a lot of good positives here. Negatives. Where do I start? The offense struggled. Only 213 total yards this game, which includes 101 passing yards. Yikes. That was bad. Iowa State's defense was the best defense we played all season, and apparently they were one of the best defenses in the Big 12 going into this game. So, yeah, we weren't going to get very many yards and very many points in this game. And the fact that we still won still surprises me. We lost the first down battle. Iowa State had 20 first downs to Kansas's 10. That's bad. And it was downhill from there. Third down conversions. KU, 3 for 10. That was the KU from like seasons ago. We get those third down conversion numbers. Didn't go for it on fourth down. Didn't really have to. But yeah. Also, 6 punts to Iowa State's 3. And then penalties once again was another killer. As even though we forced Iowa State to get 4 penalties, the penalty game killed us late as KU had 7 penalties for 56 yards. And, it was just bad. We, in a way, were giving this game to Iowa State. And we got bailed because of penalties. We definitely got bailed out. Gotta be brutally honest. Also, all of that into fruition, Iowa State had 78 total plays in this ballgame. KU had just only 46. I just don't know. This was our worst offensive game ever. And how we came out with a win with how many penalties we had, how many total yards we've had, very little first downs, terrible third down efficiency, and just the number of plays in total, I don't know. We could call it a fluke win, but a win's a win in KU's minds at this point. But yeah, with that said, those are my positives and negatives. Now, my player of the game. This one's going to be tough, but I am going to actually go with a defensive player, and I'm going to give it to Jacoby Bryant. 5 tackles, 1 of them assisted, and he had the interception that, in a way, secured KU's victory because, well, we ended up scoring later in the game. But, yeah, his interception was huge, and that gave KU the opportunity to go up 2 scores. So, with that said, here's that INT. I mean, there's other guys that you can put in there as well. You got Craig Young, who had 5 tackles and a sack. You had Lonnie Phelps, who had 3 tackles and a sack. And then Taiwan Berryhill, 2 tackles with 1 assisted and a sack. But Sam Burt was another guy that I thought he played incredibly well. Sam Burt, 1 tackle, 1 assisted, and 1.5 sacks in this game, along with his teammate Jeremy Robinson, who got the other half. But Sam played incredible, getting past those guys and bringing the quarterback down when we needed it. So, although those guys played great, my player of the game has to go to the guy who got the interception, and that's going to be Jacoby Bryant. Now, my player who needs to improve, and honestly, it's going to be blasphemy if I say this, but I don't care. I think it's Jalen Daniels. He really struggled in this game. Jalen Daniels, 7 of 14 for 93 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and he also ran the ball 8 times for 9 yards and a score, which KU ended up, basically that was the game-winning touchdown. So, but yeah, he struggled. He got sacked a few times. Thankfully, he didn't throw an interception, but jeez, there were times where it was this close to being picked. And I just think the Iowa State's pressure just got to him. I don't know what else to say. He just really struggled. And there's a few guys in there who struggled as well. But in terms of overall performance, I just got to give it to JD. So unfortunately, the Heisman hopeful in Lawrence is my player who needs to improve. Now, I know I'm going to be this kind of guy, but if I had to give a player of the game on Iowa State's side, I'd give it to the kicker, Jace Gilbert, because he saved everybody's butts in terms of KU players. Because, oh my gosh, this guy struggled to kick a field goal. This dude was 1 for 4 on field goals. 35 yards was his longest. And, it was just bad. 2 doinks, and then 1 he completely shanked, which secured the win. And, yeah, I know it's going to be like a broken record, but Gosh darn it, I'm going to show the third one that secured the victory. So here's that play. But yeah, if it wasn't for Gilbert missing those 3 field goals, Iowa State would have won this game. No doubt about it. So, thanks, Jace, for missing 3 field goals. But yeah, that's going to do it for my review of KU versus Iowa State. Again, the final score, Kansas 14, Iowa State 11. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell. Tell your friends about these videos. I should see you again when the next one comes out, as KU looks to go 6-0 as they're back home in Memorial Stadium to take on TCU. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.